17-year-old boy leaves a school a little early with his friend, gets in a car accident, ends up dead. Well, now his parents are suing the school district. This happened just about a year ago, a little over a year ago, in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Colin Grau skipped the last class of the day, study hall. His 18-year-old friend was driving when they collided with a pickup truck. Colin didn't survive. His parents say school officials didn't do a thing to stop him from leaving early. Maybe if they did, their son would be here today. Join me to talk about this, Colin's father, Scott, along with his attorney, Charles Steele. Guys, thanks for being here. Scott, I'll start with you. First off, our condolences. I'm sure the wound is so fresh. How are you and the family getting along just a little over a year after this happened?
We just passed the one-year anniversary. We deal the best we can, day by day. Healing takes a long time, but we're doing the best we can.
Well, Scott, tell us about the lawsuit. Why sue the school district? What do you think you have here?
Well, there's a lot of facets to the story, but really what it comes down to is the fact that Colin was allowed to leave the school out the front door along with the other student that was the driver. The school district had set up a policy, a program to keep kids in school, things like door buzzers and people watching the parking lot. But at one point they changed their policy and took the alarms off the doors and basically told the children it's okay to go home early. Also, the school is located on a 4-lane highway where there had been 88 accidents within a short number of years, and it put the kids in danger. And then the last part of the last facet was the school didn't offer busing to the high school. So as a parent, we were forced to carpool, or other parents elected to have their kids drive themselves to school, which forced them to drive out onto that highway as they left the school also.
Scott, did any parent speak up concerned about alarms being shut off, and it seemed the kids were able to come and go as they pleased before the tragedy took place?
We weren't aware of it before this happened.
Okay. Let's bring in your attorney, Charles. And again, let me point this out. We reached out to Valley High School, the school district, for comment. They did not get back to us, so we don't have a comment there. But how difficult is this case going to be? Because I'm sure our viewers feel for Scott and his family, but they're going to say, the school could say we did the best we could, and it was ultimately Colin's choice to leave. How do you fight that?
It's going to be a battle. I think we expect a spirited battle with them because they're going to deny liability. And I think the nuance here is that the school actually increased the danger to Colin. There's a theory in federal law called state-created danger theory. And these parents had a right to expect that the school district would not only protect their child, but they certainly didn't expect them to increase the danger to him by creating a new rule, or what we call a de facto rule, that says you can come and go as you please. I think it's important to note that Colin was an honor student, a very popular student. He loved school. He was a star in his school. He's not a bad kid trying to sneak out of school like Huck Finn or somebody like that.
Right.
And you basically had a situation that was inherently dangerous. His mother had been very vigilant in trying to take him to and from school in a private car. In fact, the day he was killed, she was planning on picking him up. We all know that teenagers have bad decisions when they are between 15 and 19. In fact, brain studies indicate that they're very poor at risk analysis. In fact, they're at the height of their poor risk analysis between 15 and 19.
Okay.
So that's what we have.
Well, okay, so what's going to be your best point? That it was just too easy for the students to come and go? Is that point number one for you?
Point number one is that they increased the danger to Colin by opening the campus and saying it's okay to leave and he could walk out the front door.
That's a quote. They didn't just shut the alarms off. They basically said kids, they could leave early?
Well, let's put it this way. What they did is they had a brand new principal who came on the scene, and he essentially let it be known to his security director, and the kids soon found out. Take the surveillance off the parking lot. Don't worry about the alarms. Don't post teachers at the door. And kids soon know that they can walk out the front door. These children walked out the front door, and Colin was killed right in front of the high school.
Scott, as you go through this, and again, it must be so difficult, what is your goal in this? I don't think it's monetary, but tell us here, the real motive behind this.
It's not monetary. Being on shows like we're on right now, if one school administrator sees this and realizes that they are being lackadaisical with their policies, maybe it will save another student's life.
and again, we definitely applaud you on that front for sure, that we just don't want this to happen again. We want our kids safe. We're trusted that they're going to be safe when they go to school. Charles, one more to you again. So how does the busing, or whether or not there was bus service, how's that going to factor into your argument?
Well, they didn't have a legal obligation to bus kids. I think they had a moral obligation to. There was an incremental cost to adding busing to the high school. They had bused to other schools in the district. And of all the school districts in Pennsylvania, I think this is a unique fact pattern where they were located adjacent to a 4-lane highway with no berm, no safe pedestrian way to get in and out of the school. And so I think they had a moral obligation to bus. In fact, the tragic part of this is they are now busing. They had made that decision about 3 or 4 months before Colin's death. And this school year, they are busing because there were so many complaints by the parents that this was a very dangerous situation.
Okay. Scott, Charles, thanks for your time. Scott, again, our condolences to you and your family.